Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've got some really interesting developments to unpack today across AI, science, and tech.
Yeah, it's quite a mix. We're seeing big moves from tech giants, some pretty mind-blowing science news, and a look at some new AI tools bubbling up.
Exactly. Our aim here is to pull out the key insights for you, cutting through the noise so you get a clear picture of what's shifting.
We'll be digging into Apple's latest AI steps, a potentially huge investment by Meta, rockets, artificial blood, even ideas challenging the Big Bang.
Okay, let's jump right in. Starting with big tech AI updates. Apple Intelligence was the big headline from their recent WWDC, right?
That's right, their developer conference in mid-June. It felt like Apple was trying to maybe reset expectations a bit, show some concrete progress after some skepticism about their AI timeline.
They did unveil a big visual redesign, a new look across their software, kind of classy, inspired by the Vision Pro, they said.
And standardizing the OS names, like iOS 26, Mac OS 26, just cleaning things up. Plus, the usual updates to core apps, phone, Safari, camera, some useful tweaks.
Yeah, like PDF annotation syncing everywhere now, and a Games app for Mac.
Right.
But the Apple Intelligence part, that was the main focus.
It was, but described as pretty measured. Things like AI helping with battery life, smarter shortcuts, and that live translation feature for AirPods during calls.
That translation feature feels quite practical, actually.
Definitely. But the big Siri overhaul people were expecting, still on hold, apparently, which really points to that measured, maybe cautious approach.
So why the caution? What's the thinking there?
Well, it seems like they're focused on delivering useful, achievable things now, building confidence. They're putting AI where it makes obvious sense, like translation, rather than risking a massive Siri rewrite immediately.
And they're giving developers access to their foundation models for on-device AI, stressing the privacy angle.
Classic Apple. Keep it on the device where possible. So it's about tangible improvements now, maybe setting the stage for bigger AI moves in 2026 or later, but on their terms.
Got it. A steady approach from Apple. Now, Meta. Completely different story potentially brewing there, right?
Yeah.
A massive external investment.
Yeah, reports suggest Meta is in talks for a huge investment, possibly over $10 billion, in a company called Scale AI.
10 billion. Wow. Okay. Scale AI. What's their deal? Why would Meta pour that kind of money into them?
Scale AI is critical in the AI world. They started in 2016, and they do data labeling. That's the essential groundwork needed to train AI models.
Yeah.
NVIDIA, Microsoft, OpenAI, they all use Scale AI to help teach their systems.
So the tedious but vital work of making data usable for AI. And Meta, known for building things like Llama in-house, is looking to buy that capability.
That's the potential strategic shift. It's just Meta is willing to spend big externally to get capabilities faster, much like Microsoft or Google have done with their AI investments. It's about speed and scale in a key area.
And they already work together. The reports mentioned defense projects too.
Right. They've collaborated before, including on defense-related AI. And Scale AI does have contracts with the U.S. Department of Defense. This fits into Zuckerberg's plan to spend up to, what, $65 billion this year on AI overall infrastructure, internal projects, and partnerships like this.
So the big picture here is Meta potentially shifting strategy, using huge external investments to accelerate, especially in crucial areas like data, to compete across the board.
Exactly. It highlights just how vital high-quality data is in this AI race, and signals Meta is ready to deploy serious capital to stay competitive, not just in consumer tech, but potentially defense too.
Okay, let's broaden the lens now beyond the big tech strategies. There's some really surprising stuff happening elsewhere.
Definitely. Things that sound almost like science fiction becoming fact.
Like in rocketry. We hear a lot about SpaceX, but a Chinese startup, Space Epoch, just hit a milestone.
They did. They tested their reusable Yangtze 1 booster. It achieved a soft landing in the ocean. It sank later, but the key part was demonstrating the landing control.
Controlling the descent is the hard part for reuse. What did they manage to show?
They showed variable thrust, engine shutdown and restart, hover maneuvers, all the essential steps for a controlled vertical landing. Their goal is orbit later this year, so they're clearly aiming to compete in the reusable rocket game.
Competition is definitely heating up there. Now, this next one, artificial blood. This sounds incredible.
It really does. Scientists in Japan are starting clinical trials for artificial blood that works with all blood types. Universal compatibility.
Oh, how do you get around blood types? That's fundamental biology.
It's clever. They take hemoglobin, the oxygen carrier from expired donor blood, then they wrap it in tiny lipid shells, like little fat bubbles. These hemoglobin vesicles carry oxygen, but crucially, they don't have the blood type markers on the outside.
So the immune system doesn't react. Wow.
Exactly. If this works at scale and is safe, it changes everything for transfusions.
Yep.
No more blood matching needed in emergencies. Think disaster zones, remote areas, managing shortages. It's potentially world-changing.
Truly remarkable. Okay, from biology to cosmology. A challenge to the Big Bang.
Yeah, a pretty radical alternative idea. Some scientists are proposing our universe might have emerged from a huge black hole inside another older parent universe.
Instead of starting from a single point, it donks out of a black hole?
Sort of.
Mhm.
The model suggests collapsing matter in that parent black hole reached extreme density and then rebounded outwards, creating our universe.
And this could explain things like cosmic inflation or dark energy without needing complex additions to physics.
That's the potential appeal. It might offer a different framework for those big cosmic puzzles, maybe one that arises more naturally from known physics instead of requiring, exotic stuff or extra dimensions. It's definitely a mind-bending alternative.
Definitely makes you think. Okay, one more in this section, turning scrap into power.
This is from MIT engineers. They've found a way to create clean hydrogen fuel using really common stuff. Seawater and aluminum, like from a drinks can.
Seriously, trash and seawater for fuel.
That's the idea. They've developed an efficient process. And hydrogen is a key clean fuel target. But making it green is often energy intensive.
And this method is clean.
Very. Apparently, it produces almost 90% less CO2 than traditional fossil fuel methods for hydrogen. That makes it comparable to other green hydrogen tech, but using really accessible materials.
Have they shown it works practically?
Yep, they powered an electric bike for hours using a small reactor about water bottle size, so it shows real potential beyond the lab.
Okay, final section. Let's quickly run through some AI tools that are trending right now. This gives a sense of where AI is being applied on the ground.
Right, moving from the huge models to more specific practical applications.
First, David AI.
David AI builds foundational layers for audio AI. Think of it as providing the underlying tech for better voice and sound analysis applications.
Infrastructure for sound AI. Got it. Granola.
That's an AI notepad for meetings. Captures discussion, summarizes it, pulls out action items, basically making meeting notes actually useful.
Sounds very useful. Greenlight AI.
Tackling compliance and finance. It uses AI agents to automate things like know your customer and anti-money laundering checks for banks and fintechs, efficiency and accuracy for regulations.
Streamlining regulatory work. Knowledge.
This one's for sales. Uses AI and intent data to find buyers who are actively looking to purchase, helping sales teams focus their efforts.
Finding the right customers. Ocular AI.
Ocular AI helps create training data. It takes messy, unstructured data and turns it into the high-quality labeled datasets needed to train AI models, aiming to do it faster and cheaper.
Improving the fuel for AI. Covel.
Tobal is for testing AI agents. Think self-driving car software or complex chatbots. It provides automated testing to make sure these agents are reliable and safe.
Testing the AIs. And finally, Circuit Tracer.
This is cool from Anthropic. It helps researchers look inside AI models using visual graphs to see how they're thinking or reaching decisions, trying to open up the AI black box.
Visualizing the AI's process. Fascinating. So quite a journey there, from big tech strategy shifts in AI to startling science like universal blood and new cosmic theories, and down to specific tools making AI practical today.
It really shows how fast things are moving on so many different fronts and how interconnected it all is.
And our goal was just to give you that quick, insightful overview. Remember, this deep dive focused on the developments we looked at today, but you can always submit your own topics or materials for a personalized deep dive.
Absolutely. If there are articles or research areas you need to get up to speed on, let us know. You can find details on our website.
As we wrap up, here's something to think about. We've talked about AI in phones, artificial blood, maybe universe-creating black holes, seemingly separate things, but maybe they're all part of this incredible acceleration in what we know and what we can do. What connections might pop up next?
It's an exciting and maybe slightly dizzying time to be watching it all unfold.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it useful. If you did, please do follow the show and share it with others who might be interested.